speaking of all in, I think our romantasy boys and girlies and others will be super into this news, which is ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, may be getting an adaptation, which is pretty exciting for people. I don't know how you can adapt this to screen, given that I think part of the USP of ACOTAR is its incredibly graphic sex scenes. The spice level dialed up to 1,000. So unless you have sort of fold out R-rated sections, I don't know how it can be a mass market thing. Although I guess Bridgerton stepped into that territory, but even Bridgerton is not quite as like up against the wall as ACOTAR.
Game of Thrones had some raunchiness. Is it more raunchy than Game of Thrones?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
Game of Thrones is sort of notorious for doing sex position. I have a friend who's on the writing team for Game of Thrones and now House of a Dragon, and she said one of the things that they did was if they had any like mad exposition dumps that they had to do, they'd just get someone's tits out for it. But apparently, at the moment, A Court of Thorns and Roses. So, Court of Thorns and Roses, I think, in a way, more that Bridgerton, more than Game of Thrones, the sex is pivotal to the character development and the plot. So I think in Game of Thrones, it's more set decor and kind of vibe infusing.
Yes.
Very rarely does a sex scene actually drive the plot forward. It's more a consummation of a plot or something sort of happening off to the side or something to jazz it up. But a lot of the plot of A Court of Thorns and Roses is about female empowerment, getting through trauma. Some of the relationships are abusive or exploitative, and some of them are nourishing and building. And you see that in and through the sex scenes that gets developed